Well, last time I went over the NFC. Now it's time to go over the Gauntlet Division. The AFC top 5 AFC teams under the most pressure this season. Let's rock. All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast. Today, I'm going over my top 5 AFC teams to have the most pressure on them this upcoming season. Now, last time I went over this, we went over the NFC. Now I'm splitting it over to the Gauntlet Division, which we all know is the AFC. But before we get started, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I am aiming for 400 subscribers before the beginning of the next NFL season, which will be topped off week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens on September 5th. Trying to aim for 400 subscribers. Hopefully we can hit that margin. If not, I'll take it. But hope you guys enjoy. For now, let's get this discussion underway. At number 5, you got an AFC team that made the AFC Championship game last year, which will be in the first week game against the Kansas City Chiefs, which we'll talk about later. You got the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens don't have as much pressure as the other teams I have on this list, but they're one of those 5 teams because Lamar Jackson has been one of the toughest players in the AFC North as of the past year. He was one of the best quarterbacks in that division, of course, when Joe Burrow ended up getting hurt. But ever since then, the Ravens have been highlighted as a Super Bowl or bust team, which is highly accurate because when you got a running back slash quarterback in Lamar Jackson, that's going to be the expectation Super Bowl or bust. And this team has not won a Super Bowl since 2013 when they beat the 49ers with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed on their squad. So we'll see what happens, but I do expect this team to be really good this upcoming season with the addition of Devontae Walker or Quantez Walker. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. But also along, you pair him up with Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and Justice Hill. That's a really good squad right there. But that is why I have the Baltimore Ravens coming in at number 5. At number 4, I put this team up here because their roster has been recently built upon their new team. And they're right now ahead of the Buffalo Bills, as probably as anyone is concerned. You got the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins have not won a playoff game in the last 2 years that they've been in the playoffs when they've been a one and done team. Last year, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, looking like frozen sushi out there. And then that following year, you lost to the Buffalo Bills, which was due to the injured Tua Tagovailoa. But this Dolphins team has recently been high stacked. You bring in OBJ, and you still got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That is a really good trio right there, which could be the first trio of receivers to get 1,000 yards in an NFL history because no receiver trio has ever done that. So we'll see what happens, but their defense should be increasingly better with the addition of Chop Robinson in the draft and also along with getting guys like Calais Campbell and a few other pieces, including Mohamed Kamara, which I think is going to be a sleeper pick for the Miami Dolphins because I watched this guy in his game against the Colorado Buffaloes when he was battling with Colorado State. That was a good game, and that's when we saw Mohamed Kamara. Now, I don't know if he has any relation to Alvin Kamara, the running back for the Saints. I have no idea if they have any relations, but that would be really cool if they did. But, anyways, that's why I have the Dolphins at number 4. At number 3, I put this team on here because they've recently grown to be one of the most complete rosters in the AFC South. You got the Houston Texans, one of the biggest surprises coming out of last year, with CJ Stroud leading the charge. But this team has a lot of pressure on them because not only did they still have loads of pieces from that team, you re-sign Dalton Schultz, you keep Nico Collins, and also along with Tank Dell because it's of course his rookie contract, and you bring in guys like Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, and Daniil Hunter. And the Texans are probably more all in than the Dallas Cowboys, their in-state rival. But anyway, sorry, Cowboys fans. I had to rub it in. Sorry. But anyways, the Texans are going to be one of the top teams to watch this year because they are going to be highlighted as a Super Bowl contender. We have to see it first if they can beat Kansas City. That'll be the game to watch because if they can prove they can beat Kansas City, then they might be a good team as they think. But that's why I have the Texans at number 3. At number 2, speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, they're at number 2 on this list because despite them being the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, they should be number 1, but they're not number 1 because of one other team, which I'll get to in just a second. But the Kansas City Chiefs don't have that much pressure on them this season because the three-peat, as we all know, is near to impossible to do. And so few teams outside of the NFL have been able to pull it off. Like the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, who is still the NBA GOAT. And also along with like Kobe Bryant when he was with Shaq. But no team in the NFL has ever done that. So I don't think there's a lot of expectations on the Chiefs to three-peat because their dynasty is pretty much sealed. But that's why the Chiefs are at number 2. At number 1, I put this team on here because of a quarterback they signed and because of the expectations lingering over this team to not only get a playoff win, but to potentially make an AFC championship run. But I don't buy it because this team, we just have not seen it from them in the past 8 years. You got the black and yellow Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I know what you all are thinking. And I agree, the Chiefs should be number 1. But because the Russell Wilson is now with the Steelers, now that he is trying to revive his career, the Steelers come in at number 1 because their defense is really good. Their defense is amazing with the leadership of TJ Watt. But there's a catch. Their offense has been not so great in the past few years. Their offense is ranked 26th in the NFL last year. And of course, they now have the former Atlanta head coach in Mr. Arthur Smith, which people are saying that he's better than Matt Canada. I'm not buying that because of his head coaching record, which is 21-30. But I do know that he was good when he was the OC for the Tennessee Titans back a long time ago. I don't remember exactly which year. But the Steelers have the highest expectations because Russell Wilson is trying to revive his career. You got an offense that is stacked, that should be a top 15 offense at least. And you also got a defense that is amazing under TJ Watt. If you cannot win a playoff game or even make the playoffs, your season is going to be considered a failure because that is what you play to win the game. It's as simple as that. And if they cannot win a playoff game or even make the playoffs, their season is going to be considered a failure. But that's why the Steelers are at number 1 on this list. And to recap the list, I put the Steelers number 1, Chiefs number 2, Texans number 3, Dolphins at 4, and the Ravens at number 5. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Was there a team on here that I left out that you think should be considered a most pressured team in the NFL this season? But if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you all in the next one. Ciao for now.